So let's get Postgres installed on Windows. So I'm on the site where I find the window installers, which the URL is right here, postgresql.org/download/windows, and I will just click the download the installer link right here. And I'm on Windows, and I want 64-bit Windows, and you almost certainly do as well. It's unlikely you have a 32-bit system, but if you do, just download this version right here, which is an older version, but will still work for this course. So I'll download the 64-bit installer for Windows. And it should start downloading, and there it goes. And I'll open the file. And yes, I'll allow this. And it should take me through a wizard to install everything. And here we go. So next, and I'll take the default installation directory, and I will allow Postgres to be installed. I'm not going to bother with pgadmin4 because it dies too much. I'm not going to bother with the stack builder, but I'll keep going. And I'll take the default data directory. And now, this part, do not forget this password. I'm going to put in my own, which will just be password. You need to remember this password. And the user is Postgres. So the user is Postgres and the password is password. Next. And the port is the default port, 5432. And I'll use the default locale. And next. And now it will install everything, which can take a little while. All right, so it looks like it's installed. Now let's just see what's in here. So I'm going to search for Postgres. And we have Postgres system software. Okay. The documentation. That's the installer. I don't want to start that again. No. So I'll just cancel that. Let's just see what happens. So it may be running. I have no idea. I haven't read the documentation yet, but I'll go back to my web browser, and I will now go over to DBeaver. And let's download DBeaver. And again, it's just dbeaver.io. And I'm going to download the version for Windows. I want the Community Edition 64-bit installer. And this will be the client we're going to use to install or to connect to our database locally. And I'm not sure if it's running yet because I don't use Windows that often, but we'll figure it out. So, DBeaver is downloaded. Let's open the installer. And I will use English. And I will choose Next. And I agree to the terms and conditions. I'll allow anyone to use it. Since there's only one account, that's not really an issue. Yes. And it should fire up the installer or install it here for us shortly. Okay, apparently I have to do this twice. Next, I agree. And we want DV, that's all we want. Next, and next, and next. Not sure why we had to do that twice, but I'm sure they had some reason when they put their installer together. All right, let's create a desktop shortcut so I can find it. And there it is. So let's start it up and see if our database is actually running. If not, we'll have to figure out how to start it. Allow access. Okay, let's see if we can connect. Do you want to create a sample database? It can be used as... No, I don't want to create a sample database. All right, select my database. My database is going to be Postgres right here. Next. And download the necessary files. So it goes and gets the necessary drivers for those. And let's see if this works. So localhost is the host. Postgres is the database. There should be one called Postgres. 5432 is the correct port. And here's where I put in my password, which I set to password. And let's say finish and see what happens. It looks like we are connected. Perfect. And that's how you connect to the database. So that takes care of the installation for Windows. Let's move on.